Welcome to the Coast to Coast podcast, hosted by Slam and Jordan.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 6 of the Coast to Coast podcast. I am your man, Slam, joined as always by my wonderful friend, Ray. Ray, what's going on?
What up, Slam? What up, MBL?
Man, we're chilling. It is week 18. It's about to be playoff time, the most wonderful time of the season. A lot of teams fought hard to get here. Most of the teams that we expected, a couple of surprises maybe, but for the most part, I think everything is falling into place like we assumed it would. What's your thoughts on season 53? Well,
my thoughts, I figured the Raiders would be a playoff team. I'll be honest with you.
You did.
They had such a hot start, man. Like, you can't have that hot of a start and then kind of, fail. Just a game away from making the playoffs, really. So, absolute heartbreak for the Raiders fans. But, there's always next year. I'm sure they'll retool and they'll be back.
If there's one thing Raider fans are used to is there's always next year.
Hey, and that's why you have an off season. You win the off season and then you come out and you see if you can get hot. Raiders are hot, man. I had high hopes for them Raiders.
It's crazy because they got rid of Devontae Adams, added Travis Kelce, and
Kelce been hurt all season. That's crazy.
Has he really?
I have not. I don't even know how many games he's played.
Let's take a look at it because I didn't even know he was hurt.
He's still hurt right now, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what Kelce his plans were, but I don't know. You get traded from KC, you get there, and all of a sudden you're injury prone. I don't know. He hadn't missed many games for KC, but all of a sudden you get to Vegas.
Yeah, he only had
He's still hurt.
38 catches on the year for 563 yards and 6 touchdowns. Yep.
Like I said, he started hot, and all of a sudden, they lose a few games. Now Kelce hurt.
He dislocated his hip.
Wild to me.
Oh, you think he gave up?
Hey man, he was a part of the hot start, and all of a sudden, my toe hurt, my hip hurt. All right, man. So they shut him down.
Wow, it appears that it looks like he only appeared in 4 games. I don't think this is right. There's no way.
I bet they was 4-0 when he was in there, though.
Yeah, no, this isn't right because this. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, so hold on. Let's see. He played week 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay,
yep.
And in those
were they
games,
4-1?
Yeah, he 4-1.
Yep.
It looks like he got hurt after his first catch in week 5, and then he was gone until week 12. Came back.
Okay, so
12.
maybe I got it wrong, Snap. Okay, let me say this. They needed Kelce. Kelce was the heart and soul. He was the reason why they had the hot start.
Well, he was going to be there.
Not throw shade on. So that's what it was.
He was going to be their weapon on offense.
Yeah, absolutely. You could tell, once he went down, the morale kind of shifted a little bit when they found out
he missed 2 months in the middle of the season, and then dislocates his hip in week 17 and is out. Would have been out for more weeks. That's crazy.
Yeah, he would have been done for the playoffs too. So, like I said, always next year, I think this team will retool. And we'll see what they do. This is a dramatic turnaround for this team. But they have 1-2 wins last season, and now they came out with 9 wins this season. So kudos to the Raiders. So we'll see.
I mean, I have to stay on them real quick. They have to re-sign Kelce.
They ain't re-sign Kelce.
I mean, they might. I don't know what their money situation looks like. They might.
Kelce gonna be 36, man.
I mean, he's from what I gather, he's still real good.
He good and hurt.
I guess he's kind of dipped. He's a 90 overall. He's probably going to lose. He's 84 speed. He's going to lose his X factor. Yeah, poor guy. It was a good run. I guess you could say the Chiefs won that trade. Or did they?
Oh, absolutely.
Or did they? I don't know.
The only thing that they had to do was sign Colton Miller, but that's a huge upgrade for their offensive line. So, yeah,
right,
that was a huge deal for them.
I'm going back to try to see if I can find the entire deal.
Let me see. I got it somewhere on this thing.
Oh yeah, you made the stuff. Yeah, I can't find it.
All right, so it was 4th rounder and Travis Kelce sent from the Chiefs, and the Chiefs received a 7th rounder and Colton Miller. I'm telling you, Colton Miller alone, what is he? He's a monster on that offensive line, and that offensive line, best in football. Obviously, you see what Pachenko's doing week in, week out, but adding a player like Colton Miller, and you're giving away a 35-year-old tight end who's, he's heart and soul, like I said, but you got a 29-year-old 6'8" monster that is very athletic. Signed him to a really good deal though. Had to sign him for 6 years, but yeah, that's a great deal for the Chiefs.
Okay,
really
all right. Well, go Raiders, I guess, next year.
Yeah, and we'll see what the Chargers do too. See that the Chargers is always, kind of in and out. The Chargers have played some teams really tight this season. They played some teams very well, and others, they haven't. They had some huge wins. They beat Kansas City, so I don't know. We'll see what happens with the Chargers, but they should have a top pick coming. We'll see what they retool with.
Well, it depends, because the Jaguars are sitting. Oh, the Jaguars traded that pick away. The Ravens have it.
Man,
I didn't even think about that. How do you?
Exactly.
That
was a trade, and so kudos to the Ravens owner, GM, for making that trade 2 seasons in advance. So, season 1, season 50. Are we looking at season 50? 51? Season 51. Yeah, the Ravens made a deal in the offseason, right before the draft. What is it? 3 second-round picks for a first-round pick, future first-round pick.
Good for them.
So that first-round pick now turns into a top 2, I think.
Yeah, well, I
don't think it's number 1 though.
It's number 1 currently. The Chargers have 3 wins. The Jaguars have 2.
Well, the Jags just won.
Oh, they won this week? Okay. Well, let's check out the we can check out the tiebreaker. It hasn't updated in game.
Well, we got a 4-team tiebreaker at 3 wins. So the Steelers still yet to play. The Eagles still left to play. But right now we have.
Oh wow, the Jags beat the Texans. Go Jags.
Yeah, they beat the Texans. Yep.
Well, no, hold on. Yeah, it updated. The Jags are 2-15, and the Chargers are 3-14. So yeah, the Jags.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so the Jags.
So Ravens, congrats. You got no 1 pick.
Yes, the Ravens have 3 picks in the first round. They have pick 1, 26, and 31. I know that they're kind of up against the cap, and I believe
Lamar making $70 million. Yeah,
I've heard some rumors about them not keeping all of those picks. I think there was talk about that. So, we'll see.
Who's your dark horse to jump in there and try to snag that first overall pick from the Ravens?
I don't think anybody snags number 1.
Really?
Well, if you know, we all talk, we hear things, and there's talk about the Ravens taking the quarterback number 1 overall and letting him develop, and then making a decision next offseason on what they're going to do at the quarterback position. Do you keep Lamar and move on from the rookie and kind of rebuild your war chest off of the rookie, or you just let Lamar walk because you have a good enough replacement and let everybody else spend hundreds of millions of dollars?
That's interesting.
It is.
That's very interesting.
And when you're
which quarterback we talking about?
Let's go.
What are we talking about? We talking about
Let's go look.
Waters, or are we talking about Tim Edwards? Maybe Tim Edwards we talking about? I don't know.
Yeah, Tim Edwards looks to be the better prospect. I don't have them. I don't have them fully scouted, but he seems to be the guy. I think Tim Edwards would be the guy. Yeah, he's got B's in all accuracies, A throw under pressure, A awareness, A break sack. Yeah, I think Edwards is the guy. Man, could you imagine?
I don't see the Ravens, back-to-back Super Bowl champs. Now I have the number 1 pick overall. I don't see them going quarterback, man, and developing the guy behind Lamar. Why waste the pick? Go take you a top talent, whether it be top 5 talent or whoever. Go get you a talented player and retool the roster. Why are you spending the number 1 overall pick on a backup? I get the strategy though. Take the number 1 quarterback off the board and kind of have him sit behind Lamar and see what Lamar does in 3 years. But I mean, paying Lamar $70 million. If you're gonna be paying Lamar that much money, I would definitely want to get rid of these high-end contracts that you have and retool them with some young talent, which they've been doing. And so I see them doing that this year too. Still top talent at the top of the draft.
Yeah, they have $25 million in space currently as we sit. They're gonna have to make a decision on Mark Andrews.
He gone.
Ronnie Stanley.
He gone.
J.K. Dobbins.
And
that
he gone.
Those appear to be the tough decisions. And I mean, if you let those 3 dudes walk, then you probably can, the Lamar decision kind of becomes an easier one, I guess. Lamar's under contract for 3 more seasons. Well, 2 more after this one. So yeah, maybe quarterback's not the move there. Maybe they let those dudes walk. You got $74.5 million for Lamar the next 2 years, and you just you eat it. Yeah,
it'd be interesting. It's a really good position
problem.
I tell you that much. It's very rare that you top seed in the AFC in the playoffs and you have the number 1 overall. And you're the back-to-back Super Bowl champs. So yeah, a lot of great things happening for this franchise.
I'm gonna see how many quarterbacks are going to be making more money than Lamar next year. There's one I know of off the top of my head. Sean Watson would be making close to $100,000 or $100 million next season.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh?
That's what happens when you have to push money ahead. So we'll see how that goes. But I think he might be the only quarterback making more money than Lamar next year. Wow, some of these quarterbacks are making no money. Dude, that's crazy. What's that like, to have a quarterback that you don't have to pay $500 million to?
Looks like Kellen Mond.
Oh, the Saints are paying Derek Carr $55.5 million next season.
That's wild.
Oh no.
Carr's he's got to retire though. Right? He's got to do them a favor and be like, I'm gonna lead him alone.
I don't know, man. I'm
Saints
not
roster, man. But it's a very difficult one. They got some talent on that roster, but they're paying triple time for that talent that they got. Really,
Yeah.
all of their talented players are making like triple what they should be making.
You got Deshaun Watson at $86 million next season. Lamar at his 70.
Wait, what? He making how much?
Yeah, I just told you. What did I tell? I told you he's
Who's
making
the GM on that team, man? What is going on there?
$86.4 million.
What are you doing?
Sometimes you got to rub 2 quarters together to make $1.
Oh nah.
You got to do.
You done push that money, huh?
You got to do some things that you don't necessarily want to do. Dude, his contract was so bad, and it wasn't getting any better. And in order to keep Koromoa and to even have a shot to re-sign some of these dudes, he had to kind of push his money back. So he's going to be making double next season what he's making this season. We'll see. Who knows? Hello, death penalty.
Bruh, that's like a 3-time freaking.
We'll see what happens. Maybe taking the death penalty.
Man.
Huh?
I don't know where you get money from. I tell you what, man, you must be rubbing some dang on.
I told you. Yeah, you gotta.
Players you pay.
You gotta do some things to make. You gotta make some things happen. But it's all crashing down this offseason, I think.
You got 3 guys the highest paid in their position, and we're talking about corner, defensive end, right?
Oh yeah, I was looking at Denzel Ward's. Denzel Ward's contract, the highest crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you talking about inflating the market? Your whole team inflated.
I mean, I didn't even give these deals. These are deals that were in place before
You gave Ward this deal. They don't even play. Ward got this deal from you. Ain't no way.
He didn't.
$30 million, right?
He's on a 6-year contract and he has 3 years remaining. I didn't
crazy.
sign that. Yeah, I didn't do that.
$30 million.
And the only player that I gave money to is Koromoa. Only one.
Yeah, he's a dog for sure.
I was going to say he's been worth everything.
Yeah. But I mean, and then moving towards the Bengals, the Bengals, I think they have to be. You have to call them like one of the best offenses MBL has seen. I mean, the talent that they have is incredible, and they, consistently made it to the playoffs, and in the past 2 years they got 1 playoff win. So we'll see what they do in this playoffs. But I think that defense is also coming along. They got a very young secondary that's really talented, and so it should be good. But they too got some contracts that are kind of crazy. And so
they do, but
they paid a lot of those superstars big money.
I was about to say everyone it looks like that you would want to be locked up for a long time is. I think everybody, you got pretty much set at all your positions. I don't really know if they're going to have to make any tough decisions this off season.
Yeah, well then this is their time. Then this is the moment that when you talk about a prime and this core that they have, everybody's in their prime. And
I think Daxton Hill. Yeah, Daxton Hill is the one tough decision I think that they have to make this offseason. The one player that they're going to have to try to re-sign. But other than that,
better players in their secondary, they definitely need them. Safety.
Oof, man,
yeah, he's one of the better players in the secondary. So they got to get him locked up.
Yeah, good for them. Happy.
And then the Steelers, man. Hey, we talked about the Raiders going from low wins to 9 wins, and now we talk about the Steelers going from a top playoff team to now, low wins. They're looking at a top pick, and I don't know what happened to that team, honestly.
I don't know. I see the Steelers 2 times a year.
What's different?
Steelers always
tell me.
I don't. To be quite honest, I don't know. I think a lot of it probably has to do with the defense, because I feel like the offense can score points. So I think it's probably on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, because I mean, in all these games, they're scoring. They're really not getting blown out.
Yeah.
In a lot of them. Hey, they managed to catch the Ravens once this season. Got the Ravens. Yeah, they. Yeah. There's only been a few games where they just haven't scored. The Broncos held them to 7. The Browns held them to 14. Well, actually, then you have the Lions, the Ravens, the Jets. Yeah, they're. I don't know. The defense didn't score. The offense wasn't as great as it was last year, I guess. They started out 0-5. Went to their bye week with no wins.
I'll do it, huh?
Yeah.
That kind of takes you out of, kind of what you're doing or where you at. Yeah. I mean, I'll do it.
Yeah. At that point, morale is pretty much in the toilet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not to mention when you're in, I don't know, probably one of the most competitive divisions in the MBL, you definitely can't start on. You start on 5, that's it. You're done for. You're no chance.
Yep.
Because you're definitely not going to win the division with that many losses, and your only hope at that point is to hope you only lose 2 more games for the rest of the season and sneak in at a wild card spot. Yeah, no chance. So sad for them. The Texans were kind of in the same boat.
I know what happened to the Texans. I mean, the Steelers caught me by surprise. The Texans, you come into the offseason trade CJ Stroud to LA.
What are you doing?
A 1-year player that kind of showed some flashes. He showed that he was okay. He could be a talent in this league. He still needs to be developed. CJ Stroud, he was already in the trenches. Like, this was his team. Went to the playoffs back-to-back seasons. And so I don't know what else you needed to see from CJ Stroud for him to stick around. But whatever it was, they didn't like it. And so they traded him to LA. So that's going to blow up your team right there. And now, seeing Atkinson came out and laid the egg. So now the Texans are looking for a quarterback, which is wild to me. I mean, you're going to have a top 5 pick probably. Well, I don't think they're going to be top 5. I think they'll be around the 6 to 8 range for draft pick. So we'll see if they have a quarterback available to them to be able to make a deal. Maybe you package that deal for Atkinson and that pick and pick you up a quarterback that can, kind of right the ship for Houston. But I thought CJ Stroud was the answer.
I really think that if they go quarterback in the draft, that's whoa. You want to hear some shit? Let's
hear it.
Hold on. Let's talk about it. The Texans have the 2nd pick in the draft.
The who?
They have the 2nd pick in the draft from the Chargers. They have the 9th pick in the draft from the Rams. They have the 10th pick in the draft. That's their own. And then they have the 24th pick in the draft from Kansas City.
Wow.
Good for you, Houston.
I mean, and so that's what you were looking at. I mean, you trade CJ Stroud, you pick up these picks. Maybe they were saying quarterback's not a big thing for us. But I don't see, if you go in with Atkinson, you gotta roll with him. If that's your quarterback, that's your quarterback. You can't say, he gets 1 year to prove it, and we're just gonna draft a new one. Like, you gotta roll with him.
I think they should. I think it's kind of pointless to draft
to trade for him and then draft another one. Now he's just rotten, right? Yeah. That's kind of wild.
I mean, he just wasn't that good to begin with. I don't know what the rationale was there. CJ Stroud is just so much better.
Much better, right? Much better.
Yeah, I just don't.
Now Atkinson, so when he was in LA had a plan for him because he's a very quick and fast player. He uses his legs. I think he had 600 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns last season in LA. And so Houston saw that and probably saw, hey, this is a guy that we can utilize, but they didn't run with him. He only had 134 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. And so that's his biggest drop off was his rushing attempts, his rushing ability, really. So LA just knew how to utilize that rushing ability, whereas Houston still needs to figure out a way to utilize that. I think once they do, then he'll be a better quarterback for them.
His arm isn't. His arm's okay, not great. He got 89 throw power. Wish he had a little bit more, and he's just not accurate. And
he's a runner.
Yeah, he's just not. He's not a thrower of the football. I don't know. Oof, man. They have a backup on their team that's almost. Davis Mills is almost as good as Atkinson.
So
process that.
So what needs to happen is Houston needs to hit on these draft picks and draft anything but quarterback, and utilize, probably fire your offensive coordinator, get a new offensive coordinator in there, change up the playbook, and utilize the legs of Atkinson. That's your best.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Good, man. Oof. All right. Well, I think we hit on. Well, I guess. Do we need to talk about the Niners, or we just expected this from the Niners?
I definitely expected the Niners. This is what I expected the Niners to look like last season to start, honestly. Last season, they started out slow, but they picked it up. I think they figured something out. Something clicked for them. And they started playing as a squad, and you saw they went all the way to Super Bowl.
Right.
This season, they kept that going. So that consistency, that's key. That's what's key. And so I think this team can be dangerous. And for some reason, this Niners team, they got the Panthers number, man. The Panthers has been the best team in the NFC. But the Niners, they gonna take the crown. If they keep beating the Panthers like this, Panthers gonna be as good as they want to be. If they can't beat the Niners in the playoffs, it's gonna be a tough one. You gotta crown the 49ers as the best in the NFC. So right now, they got the crown until the Panthers go in there and beat them. And really, 49ers, they'll be 2 seeds, so they got to go into Carolina. But it seems like the Niners have no problem going into Carolina and winning games. They did it last season in the playoffs. They did it in the regular season this season. They beat the Panthers again. So we'll see what the Panthers have for them.
The craziest thing is that this 49ers receiving core,
they turned some dogs in it. We ain't know half them boys last season.
No.
Yeah, I don't even think they got over. None of them got over, 50 catches probably? I don't know. I'm just throwing right now. But,
I mean, I'll gladly go look.
Season.
But, dude, man, they traded Debo away, and we were all, what are you doing that for? That's dumb. Oh, well. Good.
And all of a sudden,
for them.
These boys that came out. You got Ayuk. You got Hayden. These boys are going crazy. And then all of a sudden, we got Brock Purdy having his best season that he's had. MBL.
Brock Purdy, the transformation is crazy. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NBL. Not just stats, not just statistically, but you're talking about just ratings wise on paper.
Winning games, yeah. He knows how to win them. So, this team's dangerous in the playoffs.
The Niners will probably they'll end with potentially with 2 wide receivers over 1,000 yards. Julius Hayden, the rookie, led the team in catches, 932 yards, 9 touchdowns going into Week 18. Brandon Ayuk, 52 catches for 903 yards and 6 touchdowns going into Week 18. And then, Kittle and Gray were down there. They were nothing crazy. What's crazy is they only threw the ball to McCaffrey 18 times. That's wild. You figured you'd get him the ball a couple, 2-3 times a game.
They used to, yeah. I mean, that's what they used to do. They used to just McCaffrey. He was it. And so something figured out in the last 2 seasons where they were like, hey, we gotta start spreading this ball around.
They definitely hung their hat on defense, and the thing about their defense is no one was out of their minds defensively. Like, no one had a great statistical season individually.
Man, you must not see Fred Warner play. I mean, Fred Warner, man. I mean, I don't know.
No,
he would get a vote
Fred,
for defensive player of the year for me. I mean, he was the best defender.
He
league, definitely in the NFC. So yeah,
he had
definitely leading his team.
He had 8 interceptions. That's great. You're right. But I'm just talking from, like, if you look at like the sack numbers, the highest sack total on the team was 4.5. Let's see. Let's look at tackles. Fred Warner led the team in tackles with 71. Like, besides the 8 interceptions, that's, they kind of just had like I said, individually, they all kind of had, okay, cool, years. But if you put it all together, dude, I think they allowed less than 1,000 yards rushing the entire year.
I almost believe what's crazy is they allotted for like 60 tackles for loss. I mean, as a team, like that's insane. That's an insane number. I mean, you just kind of abandon the run immediately against the Niners.
Yeah, there's no point. There. Okay.
There's no point. Right.
736 rushing yards on the year allowed going into Week 18.
Damn.
Yeah. What's the point? They dominated that category. The next closest team was 1275. Points allowed 319. The next closest team, the Denver Broncos, at 360. Like I said, they didn't lead the league in sacks. They didn't even lead the league in interceptions. Didn't lead the league in forced fumbles or fumble recoveries, shall I say. Hey, Cleveland led the league in fumble recovery. Let's go.
Noted.
Cleveland also led the league in fumbles forced but not recovered. Could have won. There was like 2 or 3 more games I probably could have won if I had recovered a fumble in the closing seconds. Yes, noted.
Conservative.
Oh man.
Conservative.
Cleveland probably also led the league in touchdowns allowed because players were running around trying to punch the ball out too. So
that's the risk you take, right?
You gotta risk it to
no
get
risk
the
it. Yeah, no risk it, no biscuit.
Okay, let's look at these playoff matchups. I know that we talked about the Niners and the Giants potentially flipping spots pending results of their Week 18 game. The Commanders lost, so they're 9-8. The Falcons, if they win, will be 9-8. So I guess I don't know what the tiebreaker is here. I'm kind of trying to look.
So potentially those 2 matchups could flip flop. That's wild. Both of those 2 matchups.
So if the Falcons win and they go 9-8, is it conference is the first tiebreaker or is it your division?
It's conference.
Okay, well, if it's conference,
division don't matter.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Who is Atlanta playing? If Atlanta is playing an NFC team, I think they are. I think they're playing the Saints. Yeah. So
they're playing the Saints.
Then they'll end up tying in the conference. Then it goes to division, and Washington has the tiebreaker there because Washington has 4 division wins. Oh no! Hold on. It's a division game. Oh, this could be real. This could be real fun if Atlanta wins. Yeah, could be real fun if Atlanta wins. Hold on, let me look this up here because in division Atlanta. Oh no, sorry, it won't be fun. If Atlanta wins this game, they'll be 3-3 in their division, and the Commanders will be 4-2 in their division. So even if Atlanta wins, they're still going to be the whatever seed that they are. So that's that. Okay, so then the only matchup that could potentially be different is the 49ers and the Giants could flip-flop. So 49ers lose in week 18 and the Giants win. The Giants are the 2 seed, the Niners are the 3 seed. So we'll keep that in mind as we're previewing some of these matchups. But we'll start on the we'll start on the AFC side of the bracket. Some would say the tougher conference. Looking at the teams, just looking at the logos here as I'm looking at the potential playoff bracket, it kind of looks that way. But anything could happen. So we'll start with the 2 versus 7 matchup. The Denver Broncos, the 2 seed, Cleveland Browns, the 7 seed. I don't think anybody expected Cleveland to be here, including myself. I was kind of shocked when I opened it up in week 15 or 16 and saw my logo in there. I was like, oh, that's cool. But here we are. So 3 teams from the AFC North on the AFC side of the bracket. The Browns, the lowest seed, taking on the always tough Denver Broncos. What do you think?
I mean, for me, it's always the Broncos.
I mean, of course. Yeah, usually insane. The Broncos.
So we got 3, 15, and 2 teams, right? I don't know what these tiebreakers are, but
so you're thinking things could change?
It could. I don't know. I don't know how much. I mean, they already have. The Ravens are already penciled in right now to the 1 seed, so I don't know how it could change. But I don't know. Let me see. We all got the same conference record too, I think.
I mean, I would.
So what's next? We got conference record. Probably strength of schedule.
Well, division. What are the division records?
Division doesn't matter unless you're within the division. It's only conference, and then strength of schedule, I think. Or if strength of schedule is the same, I don't know how you determine strength of schedule. I guess the amount of teams that with wins or whatnot. I don't know. I think from there, I think it's the amount of points you score. I don't know. I don't know how it does it, but there could be a potential movement.
The head-to-head record obviously is number 1, and then you have records within the division or conference. Then they start talking about records against common opponents.
Oh, against common games. Okay, so
yeah. I mean, it's different between. So the tie-breaking procedures against divisional teams obviously are different than.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So head-to-head, win percentage in conference, win percentage in common games, then strength of victory.
Strength of victory.
Yep, strength of schedule, strength of victory. That seems weird.
So that means how much have you blown out teams?
I guess.
So strength of. So I don't know. So I wonder because I just put up more points. So I guess strength of victory might be points for against versus points against.
Probably. Yeah. Once you start getting that low, it gets weird.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't know if there might be a late switch for the number 1 seed because everything across the board says we're just locked in. And I think better. Ravens have a better strength of schedule because, of course, their division. They have 2 playoff teams in that division.
Right.
I have 1, but I don't know.
It'd be crazy, actually.
They have the two losses for a 15-win team, so they would have a better. So that's probably be the one thing that separates them. But yeah, I mean, potentially, we'll see. But potentially, it's either you play the Broncos or you play the Ravens.
All right. Well, rather play the Ravens. So praying for rain.
All right.
Anyway, all right. Man. Hey, I play the Ravens 2 times a year.
That is true.
I know what they bring.
That is true. You see them, yeah. There's something to be said about that. Yeah.
All of my games against the Ravens are typically 1-score games. I don't think I've come within 3 touchdowns of the Broncos this cycle. So, like I said, would rather play the Ravens. Anyway, the 3 and the 6 matchup.
Though.
Hey. I got you in the playoffs the last cycle or the cycle before. I don't know.
I mean, the playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs. Playoffs.
You beat me in the playoffs.
It was when I had that. It was when I had that Raiders team. That Raiders team was tight. I made a cool run with that team.
Oh, when I had the Colts?
Colts, yeah.
Oh,
I think it was the
dang,
Colts. Yeah. I remember. I never forget.
Get that banner on your wall.
Dude, listen. People,
That banner
I think
up?
people in the league have been talking a little shit, and people forget that, I'm a guy in this league, and fuck anybody that says different. You bleep that out. You can leave that unedited, but that is what it is.
Take that somewhere else. Take it not on me. Hey, 3-6 though. I like this Colts Kansas City matchup.
Yeah,
this one's one of the better matchups in the playoffs. Honestly, these two teams, I think they're very evenly matched. They played earlier in the season, and it went down to, were they in overtime or was it right before overtime? Colts sneaked one out. I think it was overtime. They went to overtime. It took KC needed an onside kick after a late touchdown. Needed an onside kick, got it, and then tied the game up for overtime, which was incredible. I think that's what happened. I can't remember. Something like that. I know it was close.
Yeah, I remember a game like that happening as well, but I don't.
Yeah, that's something like that.
Can't tell you the teams, but I mean this one's easy. Colts stop the run. Colts win.
Mahomes and two X Factor receivers, really?
Right. Yeah, I think if Kansas City would rather run the ball.
Stopping the run is more easier said than done.
It is. So there you go. You got
a wild one.
And if Kansas City is running the ball well, that means they're dictating the pace of the game. They're shortening the game.
Yep.
You don't want that. So you stop the run. You play. I mean, obviously, you're not going to stop the run. Let's call it what it is. We're not going to throw any dirt on the Kansas City run game. Kansas City is going to run the ball. It's, can you contain it? Give up no big plays in the run game. No, 50-plus yard runs for touchdowns. You don't want that to happen. You can give up a couple yards here or there, maybe a 10, 15, 20-yarder, and bend, don't break, basically. So,
if you don't let Rashee Rice go for 202 yards and 2 touchdowns,
no, that ain't happening. It's the playoffs now. You're not playing jokers in the regular season. All these teams know what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. I don't think we're going to see anything crazy like that.
That was against the Colts, bro.
Oh, damn.
What you mean? What you mean? I was against the Colts, man.
Okay, well, it happens.
Hey, man. Yeah, it happens. You're right.
All right, 4-5. Bills, Bengals. Bengals on the road at the Bills, only because the Bengals happen to share a division with the Baltimore Ravens. I think Cincinnati has no problem going to Buffalo.
Man, if this was earlier in the season, I would not agree with that statement that you just made. Because I would say the Bills were one of the best teams in the AFC, top teams in the AFC, honestly. But I don't know what happened to the Bills, but they have
fallen.
Imploded. I don't know what happened in that locker room. But
they lose 3 in a row going into the playoffs.
Oof. But they're like 3 winnable games.
They have not played in. Oh no, they did lose. Yeah, they lost. So let's look at their record going into the playoffs. I don't think it's very good. Oh yeah, they're on a 3-game losing streak. So out of their last 5 games, they won 1. They're 1-4 in their last 5.
Their last 6, honestly. They last 6, and 2 of those losses came to Miami. And so, I don't know. The 3.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
The season they got for all playoff teams. Cleveland, Baltimore, Carolina. But 2 losses to Miami, pretty much back to back.
Yeah, you can't have that happen.
It's tough. But, I don't know. They started the season out hot to me. They look like one of the best teams in the AFC. honestly, early on in the season, people were calling for Allen to be MVP of the league. And
Yeah,
so,
well, that's
you have a
why
quarterback
we
playing
play.
that well. But, yeah.
That's why you play 17.
We'll see if they they pick it up. We'll see. I think they're good enough to make this a game against the Bengals.
The thing with the Bills
on offense,
the Bills need to keep it close in the first half. If the Bills go down by more than one score in the first half, it's over.
More than one score.
Yeah, more than one score. I'm saying it. More than one score. They go down by 10 or 14 points, it's over.
Yo.
Just
you
say
said one score?
Saying.
Dang. Okay.
No, not one score. If they go down one score, it's fine. Because one score,
Okay.
If you're down by 7 at the half and you get the ball back, you're good. I'm saying multiple scores. Yeah. Anyway, onto the NFC. So the Niners could potentially play the Falcons or the Commanders. I don't think either of us are picking an upset in either of those two matchups. I think the 49ers are too good. They do what they do well, and there it is.
Yeah, don't stop the train now. Keep it rolling.
Yep. I don't even know what the blueprint to beat the Niners is, really.
Don't run the ball.
Yeah, I guess.
We already talked about that.
Gotta throw the ball 40 times.
Yeah, scratch that run game.
Yeah, hope you have enough time to throw the ball. So,
like we said, they don't get a whole lot of sacks. So you might have a little bit, it might be just how they scheme it up to where they scheme it up to stop the run. So you might have something. You get a good passing game, you might have something.
Okay, all right. I'm with that. Then you got the Giants, who could potentially play either the Falcons or the Commanders. Yeah. The Giants building the franchise team. Haven't seen much of them this year. They've kind of been on dark mode. But they definitely turned it around from last year.
I'm sorry. We got to go back. We failed to mention the implosion of the 49ers as well. So if we're going to talk about the Bills, we got to talk about the 49ers. Losing 3 straight coming into week 18. And of those 3 teams, we're talking about Houston, which we just talked about was not a good team.
Well, remember, the Niners have been sitting their starters for like a month.
Since week 15? They've been sitting starters?
Dude, I feel like it's been a minute.
So they lost week 1 to Seattle by 4 points. And they have went on a tear of the league, ripping off, what is that, 13 straight games?
Yeah, they didn't sit their starters in week 15.
And so they lost 32-16 to Houston. That's a really bad loss.
Oh, wow, they didn't sit their starters in week 16 either.
But that's Baltimore. They played them close. It was a really close game. Baltimore got down to the 1-yard line with like 2 seconds left and scored. Very, very good game. Very good Super Bowl rematch. They played a really good game in that one. But the Arizona game, I'm not understanding why. They starters week 17.
They rested the majority of starters in that Arizona game.
Oh, because they couldn't get the 1 seed, but now they're in danger of losing the 2 seed.
I don't think that they really care about that.
That's a game where you win this game, you got to go to New York to play because you let up a 2 seed, or you get 2 home games because you're just. I don't know. For me, it's
they're always going to. Yeah, the only way they don't get a home game, I guess, is if you're right. You want to be at least the 2 seed, so that way you have 2 home games. Because if
you rest the starters, you want to rest them for a reason.
Yeah. Right.
But if you rested them to have a long road to the Super Bowl, it's a tough one. But to each his own. Maybe it'll work out. But now they got a game against Tampa, and they lose this one. I think the Giants then move into 2 seed and they drop down to 3 seed. Hit the Giants.
Yep. So, having home field advantage in the playoffs is kind of a big deal. And so, you're right. If the Niners dropping down to the 3 seed is I mean, they ran the table on the NFC side on the road last year. So, I guess if there's a team that's okay with doing it, it's them.
But it's kind of easier to come out of nowhere and kind of sneak up to somebody, And so now, not discrediting them, but now you got to line up and you know what's coming. So they know you're going to get their best.
Not to mention, people want to beat you at this point.
Yeah, they want to beat the big dog. And so when you come in and you're the big dog, like I said, it's one of those things. Yeah. And so also, I don't think like I said, when you lose the last month of the season, it's not good heading into the playoffs. That morale's got to be high in a lot of people going to the playoffs.
Right.
That's all.
But they're pros. They'll figure it out. Besides the Colts Chiefs, I think the most intriguing matchup on the NFC side is the 4-5 Green Bay Seattle. That'll be a fun one. I definitely will stop what I'm doing to watch that one for sure. You got the leading receiver in the MBL, some dude named Sanford, going up against this feisty Seattle defense. I'm here for it.
It was my understanding that Green Bay wanted this matchup. Actually celebrated this matchup. I'm not sure why you would, but they get their home game. But you get Seattle, and Seattle is, they've been quiet. I think there is a storm of brewing in Seattle. And so
I mean, season 54 or 55, watch out for Seattle.
Really? I say season 53, watch out for Seattle.
I picked them. I picked Seattle to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, you got them winning the Super Bowl. Dang.
Yeah. Okay. I have Seattle beating Denver in the Super Bowl 27-21.
Okay.
That was before a single game was played.
Well, there you go. But I still believe Green Bay is a good team. They're definitely talented. They got some young rookies in there, talented quarterback, very talented running back. But the matchup against Seattle is definitely one that will be very even for them. Very tough matchup.
Yeah.
So
not
to see that game.
Not the matchup I would have been partying for.
Oh no.
With all those other teams to play in the NFC, the one team you want to play is the Seahawks. Okay, guy.
Yeah, and I believe they again, I don't know what's up with these teams at the end of the season, but they kind of, it seems like they take their foot off the gas a little bit. And so, they had a pretty tough schedule down the road, I guess you can say, but going against
Green Bay
losses against Green Bay. Losses week 14 against Chicago, Baltimore, and then Cincinnati. I think what they really celebrated was that they were division champs. Green Bay did, but they lost twice to Chicago, and so very hard for me to call you a division champs or the kings of that division when you lost twice to the team that division. So
remember, I told you, Green Bay is that girl at the dance that you see.
Oh my.
Across the dance floor, and you think like, oh yeah, that's the one, she's giving me the eyes, and then you get closer to her and you're like, oh no, that's Green Bay.
There you go.
Yeah. Fun Green Bay stat for you. Jonathan Taylor currently has 1,700 yards rushing. The leading receiver also has 1,700 yards receiving, so that's fun. Yeah. Dave Sanford.
Explosive.
1,700 yards. Didn't even lead the team in receptions either, which is crazy. Good for him. Yeah, good for him. He's going to be rookie of the year by a mile. I don't see anybody else coming close. Yeah, unanimous.
Close. Yep.
If it's not unanimous, come on, there's some hate.
Absolutely.
But those are your first round matchups. I personally don't see any upsets coming out of the first round. I think the teams that are supposed to take care of business will take care of business, and including my own team. I want my team to win, but if I was a betting man,
What?
So, yeah, if I was a betting man. Oh, do I have to? Come on. Come on. To be the man, you gotta beat the man.
Yeah, well, we gotta play the game. Yeah.
Yeah, gotta play the game.
Between the sticks, and let's ride.
Oh, yeah.
That's how that's gonna go.
Danny Touchdown's got something for you. He's coming.
I like it. Let's go. Yeah. Line them up.
I want to play now.
Line them up.
Advance. I don't know where we're waiting on the Jets to play a game. Get out of here. Advance. Let's go.
Jets. All right, so your Super Bowl prediction, I think you mentioned that. Any changes to that?
No. I think Denver is the Ravens are so good.
Mm-hmm.
So good, but 3 times in a row is hard. It's hard. I don't know if it's ever been done in NBL history before. It might have been. I don't know. Somebody can tell me when they listen to it. But 3 is hard for anybody, and I just think the teams in the AFC are too good, too evenly matched. You're gonna have one bad game in the playoffs eventually. So, yeah, I'm still sticking with Seattle and Denver.
Okay.
You have the Colts coming out of the AFC.
I did. That's why I asked you first.
Ooh. I mean, I don't hate the Colts. No beef against the Colts. Colts can definitely do it, but I don't know. I feel like there's 4 teams ahead of the Colts personally.
Yeah, I like them Bengals. Of course, I'm not gonna be a homer and just pick my own team, but I'm not playing to lose. But
of course not.
If I was gonna,
nobody is.
I like either the Bengals or the Ravens. I think there's something to be said when you play top teams and top talent consistently, and so that's why your division is so good against other teams, because you're constantly playing against top talent. So you don't know anything lower than top talent.
Nope.
So when you come into a game, it's all 100 miles an hour.
There is
there's something to be said about that. And so
no games off.
Yeah, exactly. So your division is tough, man. And so that's why you see the Bengals always having success. That's why you see the Ravens having success. The Steelers are usually a playoff team. That's why you're a playoff team now. So, I just feel like that division is going to have a team in the championship game. I mean, it's just as simple as that.
There's only conference in the MBL with 3 teams above 10 wins. 10 wins or more. Yeah, there's some divisions that only have 1 double-digit win team. AFC North has 3.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going, but, we'll see what happens, man. But, yeah, I mean, I would definitely, the Ravens are very tough to bet against right now. I'll tell you that much.
They have an answer for everything.
Right
I'm with you.
If the Bengals got to go to the Ravens, though, the Bengals lost twice this year against the Ravens. So, the Ravens know something about the Bengals.
They do. Well, the next time we will talk to you guys, a Super Bowl champion will have been crowned. And that'll probably mean that Super Bowl or season 54 is getting ready to get underway. So best of luck to all the playoff teams. Ray, best of luck to you. I don't know. Hope you break both of your thumbs tonight.
Yeah, man. GG's.
Oh, man. Okay,
give it to you now, so I ain't gotta say it later.
You're gonna hit me with the oorah tomorrow when we after the game is over?
Yeah, nothing.
Hey, just remember to give me my props when I win. And we'll be good to go. You're the man, Ray. It's always fun talking NBL with you. The rest of you guys, this has been Coast to Coast. Have a good night.
All right, NBL. Peace.